So Texas voters shattered recent midterm records in Tuesday's primaries, with Democratic turnout outpacing Republican voter participation there for the first time since 2020. Among the notable wins in the overwhelmingly red state is Bobby Pulido, a moderate Democrat who won his primary in Texas' 15th district. You might also know him for his music. Pulido is a Latin Grammy Award-winning singer. He'll now face off against Republican Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz in the November midterms. And Bobby Pulido joins us now. It's great to have you here on set. Lucky us.
How are you doing?
Yeah. So what do you attribute your win to? I mean, this is, I believe, a district that Donald Trump, as we just heard, won by 18 points, a deep red district. But it seems that you managed to carve a lane through. What do you attribute that to?
We actually ran a general election campaign in a primary. So we visited all 11 counties, even before we had our primary. We went to areas that there's no Democratic Party in the county. And we talked to a lot of voters, lots. We had over 200 town halls, gatherings, meetings, and really ran a very grassroots type campaign where we got our message on the ground. And look, it was a contentious primary because my opponent spent $1 million of her own money. And there was a lot of money right down, it goes down there. And so, but we came out with 67.5% of the vote, which I thought was really good.
So what do you think is the lesson for Democrats in Texas going forward? It's not as liberal of a Democratic base, and certainly to win those independent voters that you have to win. Do you think that this could be the year that Texas finally sends a Democrat to the Senate, your seat?
It's possible.
Are you feeling like the trend, the enthusiasm and the trend wave?
Yes, there? Definitely. I don't think it's a guarantee. It's going to be close, but I definitely think it's possible. I mean, in my district, my district's 80% Hispanic, and we did a series of things called ranch halls where we'd go to these areas, play some Tejano music, put some barbecue, talk to the people, tell them what we want to fight for, and answer their questions. And then when it's done, I sing a song and we leave. And it went really well. It was really, culture's a big part of our being down there. In a district that's 80% Hispanic, we speak the same language. And
what do you think that Democrats have not actually understood about the soul, the culture, the philosophy of Latinos living in South Texas?
That's a great question. I think what unites us in South Texas as Hispanics is that we're incredibly aspirational. Pretty much we all come from nothing, from humble beginnings. That community was a migrant community. It was the Rio Grande Valley, and it was a farming community. So my grandfather was a migrant farm worker, and so was my dad when he was younger. And one thing that unites us is that we always aspired for the American dream. It's not the Latino dream, it's the American dream. It's in our DNA that we always want our kids to do better than we did. And I think the party that best can understand that and give us the opportunity, because there's two stereotypes that we do follow. We're about family and we're really hard workers. And those two stereotypes, if you mess with our family and our finances, we don't care about the party. We'll vote against you. And we need to get that. We need to understand that we're very proud people, and we don't necessarily want handouts. We just want an opportunity.
Is this current administration messing with people's family and finances?
Of course they are. Many generations down there, it's just their first generation in their family that they own a construction company. Their dad used to be the person that was hammering the nails on the roof. And now they're taking that next step. Now that they have a company, they're rating their job sites, and they don't have workers. And that's a big problem, right? Because a lot of people that their parents were maybe doing those jobs, they looked at as a step down. Now they want to step up, but we don't have a workforce. So what we have to really work on comprehensive immigration reform to give people legal pathways that want to do those jobs. And right now, I don't think they've prioritized that. They're trying to purge. They just recently, there's 3 mariachi, students detained. They did everything the right way. They passed their test to see if there was an imminent threat. They came through the app, the CBP1 app, and they tricked them into going to. They'd been to every one of their hearings. They went and they detained him. And so there's a lot of anger right now.
So what are you actually hearing from your potential constituents at these town halls, these ranch halls, about what they want you to do if they were to send you to Congress?
The most important thing I think that people want is somebody that's honest, that will fight the system. Because I think what I've seen is they've become disenchanted with both parties. And I feel like more people are more focused on the candidate and the issues that you want to fight for than.
But what are those issues? That's what I'm asking.
It's economic. It is economic. That's what I'm saying. Like what unites Hispanics is that it's about that economic opportunity. We do not want, because you got to understand, the majority of the people that came to this great country years ago, maybe our ancestors did, came because they felt that in the United States, if you worked harder, you could actually do better.
But so are they asking you for tax cuts? Or are they asking?
Yeah,
what are they?
Healthcare.
Universal healthcare.
Healthcare is the economy. If all of a sudden I don't have health insurance, right? And down there on the border, a lot of people do not have health insurance. They go to Mexico. We should be ashamed of ourselves that we cannot offer affordable health care in our own country, and we have to go to Mexico to get it. And so it's going to take representatives that are willing to take the fight to these corporations and PBMs and all of these people that have their claws in Congress. I think people want an honest broker. They want somebody that's going to go fight and not sell themselves out.
You going to do anything different between now and the midterm when you go up against a Republican?
No. You know, we ran a general election campaign. My slogan when I first came out was, I'm not Team Red and I'm not Team Blue. I'm Team You. Right? So I did get hit in a primary saying they were calling me all these names. I'm calling me a Republican and whatnot. But people want to know that you care about them more than you care about the party label. They do. And so it's a message that we ran, and it got us 67.5% of the vote. And I think that it says a lot about the electorate. I don't think, the electorate is as progressive as it is in other parts. And that's not a knock on progressivism. It's just, I think, indicative of.
You got to run the race you got to run in your constituency.
Yeah.
You got to know the people that you're.
That's exactly right. Well, and we ended up getting 54,000 Democratic votes in the district to 30,000 Republican votes. So I do believe that we're going to do really well in November.
All right.
Bobby Pulido, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good to see you.